All right, today we're going to look at how to add and subtract with complex numbers. You remember from our previous lesson, complex numbers are in this form of a plus or minus bi, where a and b are just regular numbers and I is our new variable, okay? And we're going to constantly be reviewing, remember I is the square root of -1, okay? So you guys are going to love this because it's the same as adding and subtracting polynomials. It's combining like terms, you guys, that we've been doing since like 6th grade. So you are going to enjoy this one. So thinking about it here, if to get rid of these parentheses, if I distribute that positive, is it going to change anything? A positive times a negative, a positive times a... No, positives don't change their signs, anybody's signs, when we're multiplying. So what we do with, or what we did when we were adding and subtracting polynomials is we just rewrote them without the parentheses. Okay, now order of operations tells us when we add and subtract, you go left to right. So I'm just going to look at this problem left to right. Starts off with a number, so I'm looking for any other number that I can combine with 7, and there's my -9. So 7 minus 9 is -2. Okay, remember taking the sign in front so you always know if it's positive or negative, or you can look at it as 7 minus 9 or 7 positives, 9 negatives, whichever works best for you. Okay, next, following left to right, I have my negative I here, and well, I do have another I that I can combine with that. So -I plus 6I, again, just combine like terms as if it was x's, like you've always done. So -1 plus 5, I'm sorry, -1 plus 6 is 5, and we get 5i. Ooh, I think I changed colors on you there, didn't I? 5i. And this is in regular complex number format, where I know we're used to having our x in front as our first term and then our constant in the back, but with complex numbers it is backwards, so our I is the last term. Okay, so our next one, practicing again, we get to remove those parentheses when we are adding, because distributing a positive will not change any of your signs. Combining like terms left to right, numbers with numbers, letters with letters. Taking the sign in front. Now reading it left to right, 5 minus 6 is -1. -1i, remember our invisible ones. -1 plus 4 is a +3, keep the I. Okay. One more. We get 8 minus I plus a -9 plus 6i. Okay. And if you don't like keeping these double signs, you can just write it with the -9. You don't have to put the plus. -8, oh, +8, -9, -I with a +6. Again, order of operations says when we're adding and subtracting, you go left to right. So 8 minus 9 is -1. -1 plus 6 is a +5. So we should have -1 plus 5i. Combining like terms is what we're doing. Okay. So now let's look at some subtracting. We get 7 plus 3i minus 8 minus 5i. Cannot write 5s today to save my life. Okay, so to solve this one, just like again subtracting polynomials, to get rid of these parentheses, we want to distribute that negative to everything in the parentheses behind it. Okay, we're looking behind. So I'm going to go ahead and give myself a little note over here. First we want to distribute and then combine like terms. So those rules that we've been learning since like 6th grade are still being applied here. Okay, so we get 7 plus 3i minus 8 plus 40i. Okay, now that our negatives have been distributed, and if there was a negative in front of this first binomial, we would have distributed that as well. It's just when you don't see anything, it's really a positive. And again, if I distribute a positive, it doesn't change any of the signs. So in math, we're really bad. We'll kind of buzz through that stuff and not explain why we're not changing that, why we can just drop the parentheses in front, but that's why. Okay, so again, combining like terms, combine numbers with numbers, circling them, bubbling them in, however you want to identify it, but take the sign in front that tells you if they're positive or negative. And then I'll do the same for my I. So 7 minus 8 is -1. 3 plus 40, I feel like I did that wrong. -8. Oh my goodness, sure enough, I just went negative times a -5 is a +40. No, it's a +5i. Sorry. Alrighty. There we go. Let's try that again. Okay, so -3 plus 5 is a +8i. And again, I know it looks kind of crazy. We're not used to putting that variable in the back. Just remember, these are imaginary numbers. They're complex numbers. So they're a little bit different than what we're used to seeing when we look at an answer, especially when it deals with expressions. We always knew to put our variables alphabetically or exponents greatest to least. But it's okay. We'll get more comfortable with this as we continue to practice. Let's squeeze one right in here. So let's look at this one. We have a binomial minus a constant, just one term here. So there's really nothing to distribute because I don't see the parentheses, and there's not a sign in front to distribute here. So you could actually just rewrite it without the parentheses and then combine like terms. 7 is the only constant, the only number by itself here, and then I can combine my i's. Again, working left to right, so I have 7 minus 7i. Okay, let's practice one more. 6i minus 8 minus 8i. Okay. And if you're feeling more confident, go ahead and pause the video, try this one, and then play it and see if you got it right. And keep practicing over and over. Okay, distribute the negative. Drop the parentheses in front because there was no sign in front. And let's see if I can do this one right. So we get negative times 8 is a -8. Negative times a negative is a +8i. Okay. And now we will combine like terms, left to right, numbers with numbers, letters with letters, same letters with same letters, right? Keeping the sign in front. That's how we know if they're positive or negative. Okay, so 7 minus 8 is -1. 6 plus 8 is a +14. Keep the I just like you would an X. We treat them the same. And there it is, adding and subtracting complex numbers.